It has been a few weeks since the hit C-drama My Journey to You ended, but it is still trending, with good reason. It is one of the best dramas of the year, and we have the cast and crew to thank for that. The series tells the story of Yunwei Shan, played by Esther Yu, a spy longing for freedom, who infiltrates the palace to complete a mission. Within the eerie and mysterious palace, she encounters love and friendship, embarks on a journey of self-discovery. Here are a few brutal things that took place behind the scenes. Cast members had to lose weight. Esther Yu says, "Before filming, the director warned us to lose a little weight, kept spamming and bombarding my DMs. Because my role is a female assassin, he told me, 'Have you ever seen any chubby spy?' Yeah, that's what he said. But that's not all. I myself prefer to shoot with my right face angle, so he threatened me that if I didn't reach his ideal weight requirement, he'd shoot my left side profile and 360 degrees of my face. He promised to give me presents if I got down to 45 kilograms. I did, and he gave me many gifts. To lose weight, every morning she ate a full breakfast and didn't eat anything again until night. If she was hungry, she would eat a little pomelo. I told myself not to think of yummy foods. As long as I can maintain strength to work, it's enough. I'm at my lowest weight in these recent years. I like this thin figure, but in the past my chubby figure was also pretty cute." The fight scenes. Although most of the fight scenes required a lot of agility and strength, Esther Yu says the most challenging fight scene for her was the mud fight. A set makeup artist had this to say: "Esther had to roll around in the mud for hours. By the end, she had forgotten herself. There's a shot where she gets her head pressed down in the mud. This was actually filmed multiple times. Her whole body was submerged in mud and there was mud inside her ears." Another member remarked, "The mud was quite deep, not just a thin layer." The female extras' feet were bleeding. Mud was all over everyone's body and some had it on their faces. The water was quite cold and it was a tough time for all the actors involved. "It was very cold, and the movements were difficult," Esther herself added. Just considering how she spent an entire day in the mud, rolling around and even drinking muddy water with her head submerged, it's clear she has a remarkable inner strength. No one was exempt from martial arts training. Even child actor Lin Zai, who played as Xue Tongzi, had to do intricate wirework and complicated martial arts scenes, which is quite impressive since he was only 11 at the time of filming. Apparently this Esther Yu fight scene took 36 hours to film. Zhang Lingyi's back tattoo. The makeup artist shared the story behind Gong Ziyu's tattoo, saying it took hours to apply and almost an hour to remove it. They really went the extra mile to make sure it didn't smudge or come off during filming. They used 2 layers of adhesive, making makeup removal a challenge. She says, "The 3 of us took turns scrubbing his back and it still took half an hour to remove it. If there were makeup changes in the middle of filming, it would increase the difficulty." Luckily, Zhang Lingyi was really cooperative, even though it meant he had to be topless in freezing weather for hours to get the tattoo removed. The tattoo wasn't only on Gong Ziyu, it was also on his father in the drama, and both of them had to get it done on the first day of shooting. The hair and makeup. As with most wuxia and xinxia dramas, the actors had to wear heavy costumes, wigs, and ornaments. The set hairdresser said that while in most dramas, the wigs for male actors are around 60 to 80 centimeters, in My Journey to You, pretty much all the male actors wore 110 centimeters wigs and Zhang Lingyi wore a 120 centimeters wig. The hair ornaments made the wigs even heavier. She also admitted that by day 3 or 4, the second male lead, Qinglei, had blisters on his scalp. "We had to change to special effects makeup glue to make it less irritating, and his time in makeup was extended by 40 minutes. Every day was a challenge," she concluded. Zhang Lingyi himself says, "I didn't dare to move during hair and makeup because I was afraid of running the wig and having to start over again." Tian Jiarui had to have his eyebrows plucked constantly. His eyebrows are very thick, so every time the makeup artist was drawing his eyebrows, they would pluck almost half of his eyebrows. The makeup room will be full of his screams. The makeup artist says he soon got used to it but would have tears in his eyes at the end of each plucking session. The emotional aspects left them drained. Yu Shuxin shared that crying scenes were her most significant challenge when taking on the role of Little Orchid. In an interview with Aichi, Esther says she had to make herself cry for more than 10 takes to nail one particularly difficult scene. "I had a hypnic headache that night. My face was constantly swollen and my eyes were puffy. Zhang Lingyi says it feels like he cried from the beginning to the end of filming because he was crying almost every day for the camera. Another sad scene is when Gong Yunji lost his brother and is in despair, crawling to him calling his name. The actor says, "After I filmed that scene, I hugged him and cried on the floor for 1.5 minutes. Qinglei, he didn't say anything, he let me hug him and he kept on patting me. I really cried for 1.5 minutes." From the behind-the-scene footage we could see that Qinglei was lying at an awkward angle and his neck must have been so tired in that position, he just lay there comforting Tian Jiarui for as long as he needed to compose himself. The water scenes. In order for the hot springs to look good on camera, there are various machines on set. Dry ice is added to the milk bath so there's an effect of smoke. The downside to that is that the ice made the water cold, which made it difficult for Qinglei, who had to stay in the water for a long time shooting his scene and to also receive direction from the director on how to execute his seduction scene. In all that time his hands had to be above the water so they don't get wrinkly and affect the filming process. Zhang Lingyi recalls being in the pool for 7 to 8 hours going underwater as they shot the ice lotus pool scene. It was very cold and we filmed until 2 or 3 a.m. that day in the dead of winter. In the end, Zhang Lingyi had to come out of the water after he had injured his foot. Esther spent a couple of hours having to learn how to stay submerged for the same underwater scene. The action director said that he admired Yu Shuxin and Zhang Lingyi for being able to film in the water with temperature of -8 degrees Celsius for hours, not to mention the hair and clothes weighing them down. You could see that Zhang Lingyi was completely drained at the end. He was swimming for a long time, that his heart rate was slowing because of low blood sugar levels. The director noticed and gave him chocolate to eat. Even the kissing scene was not even romantic. They filmed it over 2 days in the water and on shore. Yu Shuxin says, "I remember it being so cold on shore because we filmed a bit in the water, we're wet, and when we were kissing our lips were trembling. Our clothes also became frozen." Zhang Lingyi chimes in. Strict filming schedule. One time Yu Shuxin got a high fever while filming My Journey to You, but insisted on filming because she knew that if she took a break she would be delaying filming for everyone. Zhang Lingyi also added that they filmed at irregular times. Filming would sometimes take place from very early in the morning to late at night, so we had to make sure that we were available on set at all times. In an interview with Elle magazine, Esther confesses that she was very tired moths of filming My Journey to You. "When this drama wraps, I am going to have a rest. If I keep moving on to one filming crew after another non-stop, it might put me in a bad state. I get puffy when I have to attend events after staying up late filming, so why not have a rest and come back out when I'm in a good state," she continued. Of course, the crew work even harder and they deserve praise because everything from lighting, camera work, costume design, set, hair and makeup was exquisite. Have you watched My Journey to You? What did you think of the drama?